Fuck your God. Fuck your God. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Matthew.
This is Matthew. That's Eric of the Odd Atheist Friends. 75?
75.
75. Year in review, Christmas time. It's right before Christmas. Oh, happy impeachment to you, Eric. It is the happy impeachment season. And Merry fuck Trump to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh,
So, yep,
yep.
it's been interesting to say the least politically the last few weeks. Yeah, um, this is right before Christmas that we're recording this, the Sunday before Christmas, and Trump got impeached a couple of weeks ago, and conservative Christians are like, "Let's kill liberals." I've actually seen that on Facebook and other places. So, yeah, that's a thing.
Yep.
That's super funny, frightening. It's kind of weird because like I've gotten more death threats since Trump came in than ever before in my life before that, and I'd been an atheist for at least a good 6 or 7 years before that, and gotten more death threats, direct or indirect, since Trump became a candidate, a serious candidate, and got into office. So, yeah, that's interesting. Why are
Yeah.
conservatives going psychotic?
I don't know. Trump kind of just breeds hate, I think. And they like to say that they like Trump because he's not afraid to like speak the truth and say whatever he wants, and that's just like them thinking they get a free pass to be dicks, basically.
To be racist assholes? Yeah.
Yep.
So, I have you ever had anybody do the, don't we speak English in America around you?
Like back in the South for sure. I was around that some when I was younger. I can't think of any in recent years.
I had somebody once say it directly to me in 2012. I said, "Simasen," which is like "excuse me" in Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
and I was working at a gas station, uh, trying to earn a couple of bucks while I was going to college. I was working at a gas station. I had that job for like 2 weeks and fucking quit. I'm like, fuck you.
Right.
Anyways, but anyways, this lady looks at me, and one of the coworkers looks at me and says, "Speak English here in America." I looked at her and said, "I speak three fucking languages. How many do you speak?" And she said this in front of customers, and I just retorted
Mm-hmm.
loudly.
Right.
Dead silence.
Right.
So,
Well, that's
yeah,
fun.
yeah, it was fun. I haven't heard anybody say it, at least around me. Um, but I think there's definitely been some assholes around who would have said it for sure. So I'm just saying, it's kind of funny because the suburbs of Chicago, well, Illinois third district that I live in, like in 2018, we literally had a Nazi run for representative for the district.
Oh yeah.
He got his ass kicked, but he actually ran. He won the other, you know, the other major party candidate. So he was running as a Republican. Wow. And
Wow.
he got I mean, he wasn't going to beat Lipinski, but he still got like 1,000 votes, this Nazi guy. So there's at least 1,000 people who voted for a Nazi here in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. That's kind of fucking crazy.
I would like to think that they didn't actually know he was a Nazi for the most part, and then they just checked a box. But you know,
You hope so. That's worst case, and In this case, best case scenario.
Yeah.
So, for those who aren't watching this on video, I'm wearing a T-shirt that I bought last time I went downtown Chicago. I went to a souvenir shop, and it says, "Sorry about our president" in a bunch of different languages. It's got sign language, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, French, Arabic, Greek. Got, I don't know, about 10 different languages on it. $14.
Solid.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. I thought it was appropriate.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Blue Gatorade.
Why are you drinking blue Gatorade?
It has been my lifeblood for the past week. I have had the severe respiratory influenza.
The man flu?
No. Again, I'm not playing this up. It has been really terrible. I don't even know. I blacked out for 3 days. I don't know.
What?
Just kidding. I didn't actually black out. But I don't remember it. I had a horrible, a really high fever for days, and it was just a cycle of taking meds, breaking a fever, freezing, taking a shower, repeating it, drinking Gatorade. Because I couldn't eat for 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gatorade is good for you, except for all of the sugar that's in it. But, the electrolytes are a good thing. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Gatorade is high in sugar.
Yeah, it's all I've been able to keep down.
Yikes.
Yeah. I'm finally where I can eat. I started eating yesterday. I ate a bit, but I ate one time, and I was like, oh my God, that's enough food for all day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been rough. And I tried to go to work twice, and they kept sending me home, and they were and then I went to the doctor, and they said I had the flu. And it's just been terrible.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's fine. They gave me the fucking cough syrup. Fuck. I can't think of what it's called right now. It's an opiate cough syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. They gave that to me, and I really needed it because I couldn't stop coughing. But every time I come off of something like that, I have horrible nightmares. I already have nightmares, but the nightmares get excessively worse, and I have to share one of my nightmares.
Sure.
So, 2 nights ago, I was in my dream, I was playing basketball with some kids. Totally normal. One of the kids kind of started going crazy and injured one of the other kids, and they had to be rushed to the hospital. So we went to the hospital, and they had to have surgery. And I get this isn't how surgery works, but in my dream, this is how surgery works. So the doctor has an artery threaded through a needle, and he's gonna stitch it back together or something. I don't know, but he's holding it with the needle. And then the crazy kid comes in and stabs the doctor. Doctor's on the floor, grabs the needle artery, pulls his bottom lip out, right? Stabs it under it, piercing his bottom lip with it, wraps it around, pulls it out of his mouth, and then lets go. So it looks like he's spurting blood like a fountain.
That's some serious drug-induced dream, Eric.
It was so bad. It was so bad. That's what happens when I come off of drugs.
I went to Farm and Fleet. I just wanted to look around. The nearest one is in a town 30 miles away. It took me a half hour to get to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and further south and west. So Romeoville was the name of the town. It took me a while to get to it.
All right.
And so this is after Romeoville, you're really getting into farm country when you start getting south and west of Chicago. I mean, you're out of Cook, you're into Will, almost into uh, almost into the other county outside. So Will is one of the collar counties around Cook County, which is Chicago. Anyways, so it was just kind of fun to walk around there, and I got an electrically safe screwdriver set because I needed one for 1,000 volts, rated at 1,000 volts, and it was actually fairly cheap. It was only like $15 for the screwdriver set. Yeah, so it had a couple of different sizes of both flat tip and slotted. Slotted is flat tip, but Phillips style screwdrivers. So had a couple of different kinds, lengths, and that kind of stuff. I still need to get a pair of fuse pullers. I don't have any fuse pullers. I need to get them, but they're like cheap. They're only like $10. So, but anyway, so yeah, it was interesting walking around this store. Just kind of more farm stuff, of course, being Farm and Fleet than say like Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that. So they've actually got stuff for like keeping your livestock, and it's funny, they actually sell stuff like the kits to build like chicken coops and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was just kind of interesting to walk around that store. So, but anyway, so they had Spreaker soda on sale, and this is really good stuff. But this is the grape, 2 servings. This bottle has 2 servings, and 1 serving has 140 calories. So 280 calories for 1 bottle of soda.
Wow.
It'll be a total of 24% of your carbs, 8% of your sodium, and 66 grams of sugar.
Lovely.
That's a lot of sugar. But it is so fucking good. It is good soda.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm really, honestly, very concerned about, honestly, the state of political discourse and even discourse in America. Being able to talk about stuff. To be honest, there's really only a couple of ways to really piss me off. That's insult my family, make a direct physical threat against me, or, to be honest, insult my service to the country. Those are going to be things that really piss me off. And just because I get angry at a situation doesn't necessarily mean that I'm angry. I'm just being, it's like, I think that there are things that we need to be angry for and about. And just because just because I'm mad at the situation doesn't necessarily mean that I'm mad in general. I'm not. But I'm also vehement about what I'm talking about for the most part.
Right.
And a lot of people see this as, you get these libertarians and these conservatives who are like, oh, you sure are triggered. Yeah, maybe we should be. You know what I'm saying? And this whole thing of like, oh, well, are you mad, bro? It's like, yeah, why not? It's like the internet where everybody says everything, but nobody's mad. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, really? You're not really mad? You're just fucking with people? Really? I don't see a problem with being mad about something. Because we should be mad about some stuff.
Yeah.
And so having to discuss particular topics over and over again, say the impeachment, and you hear Republicans, he's not actually impeached until it goes to the Senate. That's not true. He is impeached. It's over. It's a done deal. It's like a prosecutor getting an indictment. The indictment is done. it might not go to the court for prosecution yet, but he has an indictment. He's still gathering evidence or whatever it is they're doing. And I've had this discussion, I can't tell you how many times, and I'm just tired of being fucking polite about it. Mm-hmm. It's like, read a goddamn book, you know? I'm just tired of having these discussions with people who don't actually read about something or get good information and think that they know stuff.
Right.
Maybe I'm getting too flabbergasted at all of this and just be like, read a fucking book, man. You know? And I'm just tired of having these discussions. So, yeah. I don't know.
It gets frustrating when you have to repeat yourself a lot.
Over and over and over again. It's one of the reasons why I have people say to me, oh, you have a great voice, you know, or you know a lot of stuff, you know, you should be a teacher. I can't. My patience is not good enough to do that. Mm-hmm. I'd just be at a student, I'd just be like, God damn it, think. You know, I'd get fucking fired. I would. Right. I do not have the temperament for it. So I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And in my line of work that I've got doing industrial maintenance, there's a lot of conservative religious people. And I find it frustrating and annoying. And honestly, the framers of the Constitution didn't want it, where the conservative Christians are wanting basically a theocracy and an oligarchy at the same time. They want it run by them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, it's like, I'm all pretty much live and let live, but they want run by their religious views. It's like, God, no. Ah.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't either. Sorry, I'm just kind of out of it still.
That's fine, Eric. It's fine, Eric. It is what it is. I mean, you seem, I'm talking about myself, you know, it's like, I really just feel overloaded by just so much stuff. And yeah, just a little burnt out. That, and I've been working 6 days a week for the last month.
Yeah. It feels like life is just not stopping. So much stuff to do. So many things I want to do and don't have time or energy for.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
You know, it's really kind of, I didn't think about a lot of stuff before. When I was in the service, I never really thought about, you know, the weekends and that kind of stuff, because they could always call me in and that kind of stuff. So I'm just like, okay, you plan on not being called in, but if they do, you're like, fuck, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now I get like, oh man, it's Friday. You know, I never got that, you know, that, oh man, it's Friday, happy Friday, you know?
Yeah.
I never got that shit before. But, you know, now being out in a work week, you know, a few years, having to punch the clock and all that kind of stuff, I fucking get it, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you're just kind of like, people are busy. And, you know, you never get to do all of the stuff you want to do. And I guess maybe the franticness that I had when I was in my 20s, you know, it's like, do this, that, and the other thing. It's like, what are you stopping for? Let's go. It's like, man, I'm fucking tired. I'm hungry. You know, it's like, eat your meal in 20 minutes and go do something else. It's like, that's not how people work.
Right.
Wow. 20 minutes for a meal is a long time, at least according to the military view of stuff.
Right.
Used to scarfing down a meal in 15 minutes and being out the door. Taking 20 minutes is a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got any plans for your New Year's, or what about for your Christmas? What are you gonna do?
I have plans, Matthew. Get ready. Well, for Christmas, I'm hanging out with some friends on Monday or tomorrow, I guess. We're having a friend's miss. It'll be fun. And then just hanging out with my boyfriend and my roommate for Christmas. And then I'm spending like 5 days with my boyfriend at his house because I took a couple days off work. So, should be fun. And then for New Year's, Matthew, I ordered a couple of rings. And I think I'm going to propose.
Oh no, really? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I'm like kind of wavering. I'm like, initially I was like, I'll just do like a promise ring, but then I'm like, honestly, a promise ring is kind of just like a pre-proposal, and like that's what it would hopefully lead to anyway. And I feel like really confident about it, so might
I'm
just do
just
that.
I'm just saying be careful. That's really super cool
Yeah.
that you're thinking about it, but I've known a lot of people your age and marriages don't last a lot of times. I'm just saying just be careful and think about what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, if I propose, I wouldn't plan on getting married for several years. I got shit to
that's
do.
that's fine. That's
But
great. But yeah, congratulations. That's awesome.
thanks. I'm excited. It'll either be a promise ring or a proposal. We'll see what happens. Whatever I'm feeling.
Though, I mean, impetuousness aside, there are certain times when you just know. And
Yeah.
so, Sachi and I were not together very long before, she moved in after 4 months and we were married 4 months after that. You just, sometimes and we've been together almost 11 years now. We've been together 11 years.
Cute.
So, yeah. Sometimes it just works out. So I'm happy for you. I'm
Thanks.
happy that your relationship is going great and that you're even considering taking that step is a huge step. So awesome.
Thanks. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm gonna be like super cheesy and be like, all right, now that it's almost 2020, I want to spend, my 2020 and every other year with you.
Aw.
Yeah, it's just super cheesy because
Oh.
that's me.
Oh.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh. My apologies.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's great, but it's always that cheesiness is always kind of like, oh God, just stop.
I'm always really cheesy though, so he should probably be used to it at this point.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yep. So, what are you doing?
To be honest, I've already given Sachi her birthday present and Christmas present. So her birthday is earlier in December, so I took her to go see Hamilton.
Oh
So we
yeah.
had really good seats for that. We went to the Chris Kindle Market downtown Chicago and walked around and bought like $150 worth of ornaments and stuff. I mean, the ornaments are always so nice. They're
Uh-huh.
lightweight glass and all that kind of stuff. It's just we have a good time walking around, but it's always fucking cold. So because
Right.
it's December, today's actually supposed to be pretty nice. So it's weird. Winter started off like Halloween. It snowed.
Yep.
It was super cold, and
Yep.
now it's been above freezing for the last 3 weeks. So it's just been weird. But anyways, for her Christmas, I got her a Nintendo Switch. She's wanted a Nintendo Switch for a while, so I
Nice.
bought her a Nintendo Switch and a couple of games. And so when I'm playing Skyrim or whatever, she's usually on the couch playing on her Nintendo Switch.
Cute. I love that.
Yeah. And there's been a couple of times like when I'm still up playing
Hmm.
and she forgets to turn the game off, puts it into the thing, and it switches over on the TV. Like,
Oh,
so, because I know I'm 99% sure that when I'm not home, she's got the thing in there and she's playing it on the big ass TV in the living room.
Oh, for
Why?
sure.
Because that's what I would be doing.
Yeah.
100%.
Uh-huh.
So, she's asked me what I wanted for my Christmas, and I'm like, for this year, I really don't want much of anything. Next year, I want the new Xbox.
Right.
But for this year, I don't really want anything. But I think we're kind of just our plans. I think we're probably gonna binge Supernatural because it's the final season of Supernatural.
Oh,
So
nice.
we've got 8 episodes saved up of this season, the final season. So we're probably gonna watch, and then for New Year's, we don't really go out for New Year's either.
Mhm.
I mean, it's fun to do when you're younger, but it's kind of like we'll probably do the same thing. We'll probably binge watch a TV show or something, and you know,
Right.
yay 2020, and give a smooch and maybe go to bed about 1 o'clock.
Right.
We're so exciting.
I don't know. I
I'm
have to
just saying.
work the day before and
Yeah,
the day after, so it's not. I don't know.
yeah, we're so exciting couple. Yeah, party,
Whoop, whoop.
whoop whoop.
Oh,
So,
I also think I am embarking on a journey of mostly sobriety.
really,
Yeah, I decided that it's probably for the best to only indulge once or twice a month.
you can indulge more than that as long as you don't get like super fucked up. This is the thing is like, especially a lot of people your age just don't know how just to enjoy a drink
Yeah,
without getting fucked up. I mean,
right.
because I was that way. I drink often,
Hmm.
um, 2 or 3 times a week, but I have like 1 or 2 glasses of wine with dinner and then watching TV or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah,
you can drink without getting fucked up. Honestly,
for
I think
sure.
the last time I got drunk was 10 years ago with my high school reunion. I think that was the last time I got fucked up. And I got fucked up.
Oh
But I
god.
think that was literally the last time I got I got drunk.
Hmm.
I've been buzzed a few times since then, but I just think it's just I'm just done.
Yeah, yeah. Like maybe a beer or two, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Having a beer or two. There's nothing wrong with watching a game and having a beer, or
Mhm.
or playing video games and having a couple of drinks. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think people just go way too far, and they just don't know how to enjoy a drink. They
Yeah,
just want to get fucked up.
yeah. I don't know. Every time I've drank like the past few times, it's made me really sick, and I haven't even drank that much. So I think it's just probably not the best thing for me. I don't know, but we'll see. I think I'm good for the most part, though.
I'm kind of glad. I think you're really taking a mature view of that. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of people, it takes a long time for them to get that viewpoint. Many
Mm,
people never do.
yeah,
So, you know, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. So, of course there isn't, but you see what I'm trying to say.
right, right. Anywho, speaking of New Year, suppose we could talk about like where we've come from this year and what our goals are next year.
Sure.
So there's been a lot of changes in my life this year.
Yeah.
Um, started my new job like right at the beginning of this year, like a month before the beginning of this year, and I moved to North Dakota, so got used to that. I moved again into with my roommate, and that's been awesome. Still working my job. Got a boyfriend. That's going really well, obviously. I got accepted to go back to school to become a licensed addiction counselor. So that's going to be something I do next year, which is exciting.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Next year, just working and hopefully starting school are my big goals. And getting a little healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to the gym, eat salads or whatever, you know.
It's it's hard going to the gym, that kind of stuff. I mean, people do. I think they go in spurts and that kind of stuff. But I mean,
Yeah. I
it's
like
hard to
going to the
make.
gym. I just don't have a lot of like time I want to go because I'm busy on the weekends usually. I'm busy during the work week a lot and I work late sometimes. So like only on the days that I don't work late, I
Hmm.
guess like that's like 2 days a week I could go. So it's hard. And then one night a week I have D&D. So it's
Yeah.
like when the fuck am I supposed to go to the gym? And I'm not going to the gym before work. That sounds like the worst plan in the world. I can't do that. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to go get all sweaty, feel awkward in the locker room and figure my life out.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I would like to go start going to the gym again. I do like it when I go regularly. Anyway, what about you, Matthew? Changes this
Uh,
year? Goals
oh
next
my
year?
God. Um, I left my job that I've been working at for 5 years in January. They were never going to let me off of nights, so I threw a deuce. I'm like, I'm out. And then I was just going to go right into work, but I kind of stumbled into a training program through the VA where I went to school for CNC and robots. It was a semester, 42 credit hours. It was, just enough to get your feet wet. Do you know what I'm saying? To get the very, very basics of it.
Hmm.
And um, a couple of weeks later, after I finished that, I started working at this one company that does, they manufacture hydraulic blocks, so directional control valves and all that kind of stuff. And I took a huge pay cut to work there. I took
Hmm.
like a $6 pay cut to work there. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, as long as I go get some education on, you know, you know, they're going to use me for my labor. I'm going to use them to learn about CNC machines.
Right.
And they had like 10 4-axis CNC machines, two 5-axis, and one 6-axis. And so it was a huge thing. I'm like, yes. But they only had two maintenance people. And the reason why they had two is because they hired one, a direct hire, like about 6 weeks after I got there.
Hmm.
And so they had a downturn. And I think somebody fucked up on some products that they sent to a major purchaser.
Hmm.
And so they cut me loose. They're like, yeah, we had a downturn and temporary employees go first. And so they were having maintenance done the by the engineers. And
Wow.
it's like, yeah, having them, you know, do all the maintenance stuff and do repairs and that kind of stuff. It's like, what a waste of your manufacturing engineer's time.
Hmm.
It's like, it's just a waste of time to get manufacturing engineers to do that. It's like having Neil deGrasse Tyson teach kindergarten. Do you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, that kind of, or teach first grade. It's a huge step down.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they can do it, but why would you? Do you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? I mean, this is where being penny wise and dollar stupid. Do you know what I'm saying? So you hire more maintenance people so you don't have to outsource when something breaks because you're taking care of any problems before they become huge problems.
Right.
So you do maintenance and they don't become gigantic repairs that takes machines down for days, and you're paying a company $10,000 for a one-time fix. Do you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, so I left that company. Less than a month later, I had an offer from another company, and so I've been there 2 months now. So I got back that $6 an hour plus.
Nice.
Yep. I wasn't gonna walk in for anything under a specific amount, and they met that. And also, I'm working a shift that for me is better for me. It's not nighttime. I'm not there super early in the morning. I'm kind of swinging in the swing shift, and I really kind of like that better. So I am not a morning person. I can get there and be someplace at 6 a.m., but I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I really do. So, also, this place it's straight up a major road from my house. It's only 15 miles. During the morning, when I get there in the morning, well, for my morning, it takes about 45 minutes. On the way home, it's like 25, 30. So, because traffic is pretty easy. And it's a more natural body routine for me. So,
yeah,
I get to see my Oaks on in the morning, and I come home and we have dinner, and it's like we basically go to bed together too. It's like when I worked at that other company for 5 years, I never saw my wife because when I was working, she was sleeping, and I'd come home and stay up for a little while, but then I'd go to bed and sleep all day. It's like I'd only see Sachi a couple of hours a day. That sucks.
Yeah.
So she stuck through me with that, It was very good of her. So I got a good wife.
Yeah.
So she's a good lady. So yeah, it's been through 2 different jobs, training. So, I kind of like this place. We're in our busy time for right now. They're off for the Christmas holiday stand down, so they're off for 2 weeks. So while they're off and shut down the machines, we're doing all the stuff that can't be done because they're operating, all the really in-depth stuff.
Right.
Like yesterday, I was running new hydraulic lines on this old machine. This machine is like 60 years old minimum, but it's kind of cool. It's CNC before CNC. So there was like the step right before it. But yeah, this machine is like 60 years old, but it still works really great. Like I said, I had to run new hydraulic lines, and there were some difficulties in it because the machine is German. And so the lines I was running were actually like this flexible, they're not rubber, but they're kind of like that. They're PEX lines. They're made of some kind of synthetic material. They're not supposed to break down with chemicals and all that kind of stuff. And so I had all the lines nice and neat and all that kind of stuff, but there was one copper wire line, and the guy looks at me, he's like, yeah, you need to replace that one. I'm like, you didn't tell me that before. You just said make all these neat and rerun them. You didn't say anything about that one. He goes, well, I am now. Wow. So, but anyways, things happen. But trying to get that to go from metric to standard and then run the line, trying to find those pieces can be kind of a pain in the butt. So I ran into that for a while. So, but yeah, it's I've got machines that are 60, 70 years old, if not older, and I've got some machines that are 5 years old. So it's a great place, and everything is brass, which is actually kind of nice. So it's kind of like a medium industry. I mean, nothing super hot, I don't have to worry about, I'm just saying it's a little bit better of a job than ones that I had before.
That's good.
Yeah, and I'm really digging this place. And so there's not just 2 of us on my shift. There's like 5 of us on my shift. The morning shift has got like 8 people. The night shift has got 4 people. This is what happens when you've got properly manned maintenance teams. Maintenance gets done. And so there actually is a real electrician there. They don't have me kind of homness domnus, good luck with it. So a couple of guys, like one guy is got a degree in electrical engineering. So yeah, this is what happens when you've got good people and proper people working at places.
Good.
So I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I dig it.
Sweet.
Yep. So yeah, I'm really digging this job, and we got some stuff that we want to do for the house in the next couple of years, and some stuff that we need to save some money for, but yeah, so just some things that we've decided that we want to do. We just need to just start finalizing some plans and get that done. So
nice.
I've rambled for a bit.
I think I decided that I want to have a kid in the next few years.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
It's terrifying, but yeah.
It sure is.
Whew. I think I want to finish my schooling first and everything, but
yeah. I think honestly that's the way to do it. My own personal point of view is, I think a lot of people have their children and then they don't get back to whatever it is that you're doing beforehand, and life is now more complicated, especially when you have a child.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
we'll see where we go with that, and if I'm even able to at that point. But
yeah. Well, good luck.
Appreciate it.
I support you. I'm here for you, man.
Oh, thanks.
So, yippers. Like I said before, I think I'm gonna try to get a new game. This one is getting a little thin, so there's probably only maybe 24 cards left, something like that. So we've only got a few weeks left. So, you ready for some Trump?
Yes.
Some Trump game? Okay. So, Eric is going to try to guess which one of these 2 quotes on a card is Trump.
Oh, gosh.
When Beyonce was thrusting her hips forward in a very suggestive manner during her halftime Super Bowl performance, if someone else would have done it, it would have been a national scandal.
Okay.
Quote 1. Yeah. During her Super Bowl halftime performance, that was in parentheses around it to give some reference to it.
Okay.
So, let me reread that one again. When Beyonce was thrusting her hips forward in a very suggestive manner, if someone else would have done it, it would have been a national scandal.
Okay.
Quote 2 now. You find out who your real friends are when you're involved in a scandal.
Gonna go with number 1.
God, you're good. Are you reading these beforehand?
No.
That was Trump.
I feel like I remember him talking about Beyonce, so.
Yeah. And number 2 was Elizabeth Taylor. Yeah, he doesn't know fucking shit about friends. He doesn't have friends. He has sycophants and children. Okay, number 1. Quote card 2, number 1. In this present crisis, government is not the solution to the problem. Government is the problem.
Okay.
Number 2. NBC is weak and everybody else is trying to be politically correct. That's why our country is in serious trouble.
Well, number 2 sounds like it. So I'm going to go number 2.
You are correct.
Yes.
The first one is Ronald Reagan. You got these dialed the fuck in.
I don't know. Sometimes I miss them all, so I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Quote number 1, card 3. I love Neil Young. He loves me. We have a great relationship.
All right.
Quote number 2. There are a lot of people who look great but can't sing.
Number 1.
Yep. You are correct. That was Trump.
It sounded like Trump.
Number 2, David Crosby. Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
All right. Well, crushed it.
You did. That's a couple of weeks in a row you've gone 3 for 3.
You know, I'm a pro.
You're a pro.
Just kidding. Alrighty. Well, probably it's our last record for 2019, most likely.
Most likely. Yep.
So
I got to admit, I've done something actually kind of crazy. I patroned our own show. You got to admit, that's kind of crazy.
No, I like it because I need money. Yeah. Just kidding. I know. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah. Who doesn't need money? It's like they say money can't buy you happiness, but rich people sure do seem to be a lot happier than poor people. I'd like to rent it for a while.
Yeah.
But the reason why I brought that up is because I just want to say to our listeners, I make the joke about having 3 listeners. We probably have more, but it's just kind of interesting just to, anybody wants to hear our opinions on anything. And so I want to say thank you to our listeners and our couple of patrons that we have. And thank you for listening and patronizing us.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sorry that, I don't know, I've been shitty and sporadic in the posting of the podcast, but it is what it is. And I'm glad we're still making it and getting it out sometimes.
Yeah.
Whipping it out sometimes.
You got to whip it out, fling it around, do a helicopter.
Mm-hmm. Well, happy holidays to everybody, and hopefully everybody has a good new year, and we'll see you in 2020.
2020.
2020.
2020. Happy New Year's, everybody, and see you next year. Bye. This has been Matthew for the Odd Atheist Friends, and for Eric, we'll see you next time. Deuce. Peace. Love.
Bye.